Hey everyone! In today's explainer, we are going to master one of the most useful tools in English, the simple future tense. Seriously, stick with me, and by the end of this, you'll be talking about your future plans with total confidence. You ready? Let's dive in. So, do you want to talk about your goals, your plans for the weekend, or, just what you think is going to happen next? Of course you do. The simple future tense is basically your key to unlocking all of those kinds of conversations. And that's exactly what we're here to master today. Okay, so here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with the why, like why this is so important. Then we'll jump into the basic formula. After that, we'll tackle that classic, kind of confusing will versus going to thing. Then we'll put it all into practice. And finally, we'll polish things up by avoiding some common mistakes before a super quick recap. Sound good? All right, first things first. Let's really get into the why. Why is this tense so important? Well, think about it. It's all about talking about stuff that hasn't happened yet. We're talking aspirations, predictions, plans, all the things that make our conversations exciting and, forward-looking. So, as you can see right here, the simple future tense basically has three main jobs. First, talking about things that will happen. Second, for those spontaneous decisions you make right on the spot. And third, for sharing your predictions or plans. It's a really versatile tool for sure. Okay, let's keep things moving and see how this all comes together. We're about to look at the basic formulas. Think of them as the building blocks for every single future sentence you're ever going to make. These are your simple, unbreakable rules. Now, for a positive sentence, the formula is just so simple. It's just subject plus will plus the main verb. That's it. So I will go, they will play, or like in the example, she will call you soon. Super clean, super direct. And what if you want to make it negative? Easy. We just swap out will for won't. And just a reminder, won't is just the short way of saying will not. And trust me, it sounds so much more natural when you're talking. So instead of saying the kind of clunky, I will not eat junk food, you get the much smoother, I won't eat junk food. And to ask a question, we just flip the first two parts around. It starts with will, then the subject, then the verb. So, will it rain tomorrow? See? And the answers are just as simple. Yes, it will, or no, it won't. All right, you guys, this is the big one. This is the question I get asked all the time. What is the difference between will and going to? They both talk about the future, right? But they're not always interchangeable. So let's clear this whole thing up for good. So check out this table. It lays out the difference perfectly. See that first row? For a decision you make right now, in the moment, you use will. Oh, the phone is ringing. I'll get it. But now look at the second row. For something you planned before you started talking, you use going to. Like, I'm going to visit my uncle next month. That's a plan you already had. And for predictions, will usually suggests it's more of a personal guess or a feeling. Okay, so the most important point is right here on this slide. Seriously, if you only remember one thing from this whole section, make it this tip. Will is for those spontaneous, in-the-moment decisions. Going to is for stuff you've already thought about and planned. This is your ultimate cheat sheet right here. All right, now that we've got the theory down, it is time to put this stuff into practice. A future tense sentence just feels so much more complete when we can, anchor it in time. So let's look at the words that help us do exactly that. So these little time expressions, they give your sentences context and a whole lot more clarity. Saying I will meet you is okay, but I will meet you in a few minutes? That's way more specific. Adding words like these from the list gives your sentences that crucial detail. Okay, now it's your turn because, knowledge is only really powerful when you actually use it. So I want you to pause this for just a minute and create 5 of your own future sentences. And mix it up. Use will, use going to, and try to pop in one of those time expressions we just talked about. Go on, give it a shot. Welcome back. Hope that went well. Now for the final step. Let's polish up those skills. We're going to look at a few super common mistakes. The idea is that once you can spot them, you can avoid them, and that's what's going to make you sound so much more fluent and confident. First up, we've got this one. I will going to school. See what's happening here? We're trying to mash two different structures together. You just can't have will and going to in there at the same time, kind of fighting over the verb. You've got to choose one path or the other. So the correct way to say it is simply, I will go to school. Or if it was something you already planned, I am going to go to school. Just remember that simple rule. After will, you always use the simple base form of the verb. Okay, here's another classic mistake, adding an S to the verb after will. Now, I get why this happens. We do it in the present tense, right? She goes. But the future tense is different. Will is kind of a powerful word. It forces the verb that comes after it to stay in its original simple form.
So the fix is super straightforward. She will go to the office. No S on the verb. And it doesn't matter who we're talking about. I, you, he, she, they. It's always will plus that simple base verb. Always. Now this one. It's a little subtle, but I hear it a lot. With the going to structure, people sometimes forget a tiny but absolutely essential two-letter word. I am going call you. It just feels incomplete, doesn't it? Well, that's because it is.
The full correct structure is always am, is, or are, plus going to, and then the verb. I am going to call you. That little word to is a crucial part of the formula, so you can't leave it behind.
Wow, okay, we have covered a lot of ground, haven't we? From the basic structure all the way to the tricky details of will versus going to. So let's bring it all together with a really quick recap of the most important stuff to remember. And here it is, your final cheat sheet. Just remember, use will plus the verb for those on-the-spot decisions and predictions. Use going to plus the verb for your plans. Won't is your go-to for anything negative. And to ask a question, just start it with will. These 4 core rules will honestly get you through almost any situation. And just like that, we're at the end. You now have all the tools you need to talk about the future clearly and correctly. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. A question to put your new skills to use right now. What will you do tomorrow? Think about it. Answer it. The future of your English is really in your hands now.